Lonely Mountains Downhill has been in my library for a fair while now, 3 years and 7 months to be exact, and during that time I've logged somewhere in the ballpark of 25 hours riding these lonely trails split between my Xbox and PC. If you aren't familiar, Lonely Mountains Downhill sees you traverse down mountain trails on your trusty old bike. There are 4 mountains available in the base game, and there is DLC available if you're looking for more. On each mountain you'll find 4 different trails to attempt, and each of those have a subset of challenges to complete. I've never prioritized quote-unquote beating the game, with most of my play sessions being 20 minutes to an hour to unwind or just put the brain on autopilot for a bit. You wouldn't think barreling down a mountainside would be relaxing, but there's a great balance being struck. Sure, there's hazardous parts of the trails and time limits to try and beat, but there's also birds chirping and the sounds of waterfalls crashing, and in between the chaos of attempting huge gap jumps or whizzing through trees, there's tranquility to be found here. All the sounds are of a very high quality, and even the breeze has an atmospheric whistle to it. Adding to the serenity and overall pleasantness is the low poly but still very pretty art style. It's all quite cohesive, and the environments maintain the same feel as they change from mountain to mountain. Speaking of things I loved, starting high up in the mountain where there's not much life around and vegetation is sparse, and then ending up at the bottom of the trails where you'll find lush plants and rivers, it really helps keep things feeling fresh, and even on a dry desert mountain we end up in a really nice area by the end. You know I like my customization, and I've been enjoying unlocking and trying new colour schemes on my riders and bikes. I've only bought one other bike, and I regret it a bit. There are better ones I could have bought, but oh well, I'll save up again. By the way, you earn bike parts, which are used to purchase things like bikes by completing the challenges on each trail. I haven't tried my hand at the community challenges other than what you're seeing for this video. I get all I need from Lonely Mountains in the single player, and the gameplay here is what is the most addictive part. You can take the cautious approach and enjoy the ride, going slowly and carefully, taking in all the lovely vibes on offer, or you can choose speed and agility in an attempt to get the best times and beat more challenges. Of course, both have their merits. I enjoy ripping down a trail as much as I enjoy slowly rolling my way through it, and I think that's a real strong point of the game. I really enjoyed the final challenge of each trail, which is simply to ride to the end without stacking it, something that encourages a more slow and methodical ride and allows you to really enjoy each trail more. Even small things like finishing each ride at your campsite does wonders to convey a small story of this person camping on a mountain and attempting the trails over and over. Being included with Xbox Game Pass, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with this title already, but if you aren't, then I do encourage you to try it out if given the chance. I had the odd occasion where the camera angle would be an issue and a tree or a rock would get in the way of my view, but this was a very rare occurrence, and I've grown to love the top-down angle once adjusting to it. Lonely Mountains Snow Riders is coming sometime this year, and I'll be trying that out as soon as I can. It really looks great. You can find Lonely Mountains on pretty much all the main gaming platforms, so it should be available to you. I'm sure some of you will find this information useful. This game runs great on my nearly 10-year-old PC. For as long as I use this old workhorse, I'll continue to point out when games work well on it, as I'm sure there's people in a similar boat to me, where upgrading PCs every 2 years isn't a reality. I've been wanting to cover this game on the channel, but I don't want to push myself through it just to review it. I want to continue enjoying it bit by bit, and I think I was able to convey my thoughts in this video. I'll leave you off with the rest of this chill run. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next time.